her question is, avatars who came before in the past in history, were they at once divine when they descended or took birth, or they became divine that now people regard them as God or incarnation of God? You see, Krishna is different league. Krishna is incomparable. So Krishna is just different league altogether because he lived really fearlessly. Everybody else after him had to conform to the norms of the society. And if they were to reject those norms, including Sri Ram, they couldn't do that. They went with what society thought right at the time. Everybody. But Krishna just said, I don't care. Krishna said, you adopt my way or you go your way. That courage you can't get in one lifetime. Just in the case of Krishna, he said it himself, that I am God. That also requires a great deal of courage. There are a lot of people who imply indirectly or drop hints here and there indirectly. But to say directly, you've got to be incredibly stupid or actually God. There is no in between. So Krishna is a different case altogether. Buddha, for example, he practiced much austerities and stuff. But one of the things I was telling Swamiji one day, that people who appear very full, very complete, very divine, it's not just from one lifetime. Can't be. They come just with the right mindset, right attributes, with right body structure, body strength, to do all that they need to do in any given lifetime. They've gone through many cycles of evolution. It's not just that they are born and just decide one day that I'm going to do sadhana and suddenly they become who they become. There is more to it. So even in the case of Buddha, for example, we have a scripture, you must have heard of it. It's called Samudrik Shastra. In Samudrik Shastra, there is a detailed description of palmistry and various signs on body. So they list 32 signs of an enlightened being. Buddha had all 32. Their bodies are very well proportioned, and the structure is like that, and everything is in a perfect way. So all those physical attributes, the way their hands are, their arms are, their feet would be, their legs would be, their nose would be, their eyes would be, it's all written. When you go through many cycles of evolution, then you come with a body that is ready to do a lot of things. And on the other hand, you also have some people who are not in that fit body, and yet they rise to a certain level of divinity. When it comes to Ramakrishna Paramahansa, it was Vivekananda who actually spread his message, who went around and who built Ramakrishna Mission, and he was the founding father in a way. But Ramakrishna's own sadhana was with such sattvikta and purity that it was meant to be the way he is today. So I've explained it earlier as well. There are types of avatars. There are Purna avatars, Nitya avatars, Naimittika avatars, Ansha avatars. So when it comes to Purna Avatara, they are generally prophesized in the scriptures beforehand. That, okay, Krishna says, I am going to come in this form. Narayan, Sri Hari Bhagwan, Vishnu says that I'm going to come in this form, in this yuga, and so on. In between, there are other avatars who could be complete avatars, nitya avatars, and they come to keep the connection going, to keep the dharma going. That's what they did. So they call it funny or call it the way of the world. Whenever an avatara came, not everybody accepted that person as an incarnation, because they also went through the same challenges as any other human being. Only a handful of people accepted them as, okay, you are the divine or you are God. Most people could not. Even somebody like Krishna, most majority did not accept him as God while he was living. They accepted him as God much later. Only a handful of people, Draupadi, looked upon Krishna as God unfailingly, unflinchingly. And then Arjuna, he looked upon him as everything. And he also went through his periods of confusion and so on. But that's about it. From that camp. Everybody else, Kunti looked upon him as somebody divine, somebody who can solve problems, somebody who was special, but also somebody who was related, one way or the other, their cousin of her sons. And to Bhim, he was just a good guy with a good brain, right? That was, for Yudhishthira, it was just a matter of giving respect, because Yudhishthira always gave respect to everybody. Yudhishthira was a polite person. And if you look at Kauravas, Duryodhana and so on, they said, look, who says he's God? That's just outright ridiculous. So very few people have the eye, inner vision to recognize divinity. And they are the people who get the benefit then. That's the thing, you see. It's not that nothing goes wrong in their lives. Draupadi lost her sons. And it's not that nothing goes wrong in their lives, but somehow they live in peace because they have surrendered. And you cannot surrender artificially. Either it comes or it doesn't come. There is no process of cultivation of surrender per se. Yes, you could do bhakti and that could lead you to surrender, but that's about it. So most people wake up to the truths much, much later on. And it's better this way. It's how it's supposed to be. Otherwise, the world will cease to function. People are, as it is, quite lazy. They'll become even more lazy. Now you see, भगवान को दिया काम दिया, अपने कुछ नहीं करना.
ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.